Welcome, kids, to this evening's edition. We're back to a weekly schedule of Fat Man Beyond. I am Kevin Smith.
I am Marc Bernardin.
Hey!
Oh!
We just gathered last week, so I bet you a lot of you are like, what? It's happening again? That's right. Last week we told you we're going to try to do this more regularly. Rather than one show every other week or once a month that goes for 9 hours straight, we're going to do weekly shows at an hour long. It's that simple. So the clock is fucking ticking.
Shit, we're going to be done by 9:26.
That's the aim. That's the hey, Bernardin, come here.
Yeah.
Work smarter, not harder.
So the zero money we get for this can be better utilized at a shorter amount of time?
Exactly, 100%, man. You don't know the internet fucking 18 hours of your goddamn life once a month. A good, strong fucking hour a week. Champion pump. That'll do the internet. That'll do. Kids, so delighted to be here tonight. So much to talk about. Sadly, so many people to say goodbye to. It's been an emotional couple days in the world of popular culture. And me and Mr. Marc Bernardin are here. We don't have Banff Man with us. Did he go public with any?
I don't believe he has, but he's also been incredibly busy.
Yeah, DILF, I haven't seen anything.
It's the DILF Man, everybody. He's standing in. Will Wilkins sitting in, if you will, and that's not a judgment. That's just an observation. Sitting in for JC for Banff Man is DILF Man. Yes. Will Wilkins.
I'm the unwanted side effect of JC not being available.
That self-deprecating sound means that Will Wilkins
is in the room.
Be riding shotguns tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Will, who's really fucking the only reason you ever get to see the show anyway. So, all hail Lord Wilkins.
Are you graping as well? Oh, clink.
Doesn't it taste like a happy childhood? It tastes like Welch's grape soda. Now, I've had people be like, no, it doesn't. And you haven't had Welch's grape soda in a while. But I love the taste of artificial grape. Now, if you stuck a grape in my mouth, I'd rather you stick your balls in my mouth than a single grape. Both of your balls. When I mean both, I don't mean all two of your balls, Mark. I mean you and DILF Man.
What has a grape done to you?
Show me on the doll where the grape touched you.
Grape nose. But I love the taste of artificial grape. Just like I don't like baseball, but I love baseball movies.
Fair.
You know what I'm saying? Kids, we're here to chit chat, take your mind off things for a little while and whatnot. What a week it's been. As previously mentioned last week, I was going to be heading east. A Smodcastle celebration. The 15th anniversary, something I'm sure we all celebrated on Sunday, the 15th anniversary of Cop Out.
Absolutely. I played Follow the Leader in Memoriam.
Whoa. Deep cuts. There's a man that knows. Honestly, prior to last week's screening or Sunday screening, if you'd said that to me, I might have been like, why, Mark? And you'd be like, because that song's in your fucking movie, fool. And I'd be like, it is. I have not fucked with that movie in 15 years, man. And I was delighted. Like, I had a good ass time sitting on an apple box at the back of the movie theater, cracking up. Like, it's funny. I remembered every edit and shit like that. I remembered like the needle drop whenever I put it in. I remember everything about it. But watching it with the icon himself, the amazing Tracy Morgan in the room. And you see how much, like, you know, he chews the scenery and steals the show and shit. Was just an absolute delight. And then he got up on stage and dropped the wisdom and heart and stuff like that. It was very sentimental. What a lovely time it was, man. A good ass time. We're always having good ass times at Smodcastle Cinemas, kids. Come on out. Nothing planned for the immediate future because on Monday I went to a place and I can't say where yet. I can't say what exactly yet, but I'm going back to work. You ain't the only guy directing a motion picture around these parts anymore, Marc Bernardin.
I did see there was some little picture that somebody put up on the internet of somebody where he's supposed to be.
I am resting my hands as much as I possibly can for the next 2 months, because after that, it's all this shit.
Director hands.
And that takes a lot out of you, even more than jerking off. Director hands.
My the DP on Deepest Darkest, his director hands are this. He'll come like 2 fingers, like underhand, like he's reaching for the spot. So it's just like camera's gonna move in like this and like this and like that. I'm like, oh, Felipe, where did you learn that? Oh, it's Spania. He's a Spaniard.
Some of this shit.
Yeah.
Two-finger tango on your set. I look forward to it. We did a scout. It was wonderful. And then I came home. And before I went east on Sunday. Saturday was Multicon.
How was the Multicon?
Lovely. When I left, they'd already raised like $80,000 or something like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I was on a panel. I didn't know what I was going to be doing there. I was on a panel with our friend Robert Kirkman, the richest man we know.
Did you ask him for an island?
I did. I said, would you like to finance a motion picture? And funnily enough, we're in pre-production, so do the math. Always lovely seeing him. He's such a nice dude. But he, like me, I was wearing like a jacket with a vest. He wore a sweater. Both of us were completely overdressed for a Sunday or a Saturday afternoon outside in Los Angeles. Happened to be 80 degrees and shit. And also on the panel with us, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat, Rob Liefeld, the great Rob Liefeld was there, who was very entertaining. He knows how to play Rob Liefeld. He was really good with the crowd. But it was a lovely panel. Every once in a while, I really lean into my Midwest that I'm not from.
Midwest Jersey? No,
I guess it is the Midwest of Jersey. Panel. And then at night we did a Babylon show in Covina. Oh my God, what a discovery that place was.
Yeah,
I've been there, man, but it's my kind of place. Strip malls, fucking cool shops and shit like that. And the theater, we went to the Laugh Factory. Fucking fantastic, man. Great venue. Here's another thing. Remember we were talking about the food that built America?
Yes.
History Channel show that you can watch on Disney or Disney Plus or Hulu. I like the folks who work on the show, including people that I know from comic book men. Jerry Corrida and Christian Palladino work on that show. So they were like, it was wild to hear you guys just talking about that fucking show. And I had wrote him back like, I legit fucking love it, man, and shit like that. And then Adam Richman, who's one of the people on the show all the time, tweeted at me and shit like that. So what we say here reverberates, Mark, not only through our fucking taint, but the universe as well, the internet.
I mean, what I now want, because I remember there was also one dude who on Instagram, we follow each other. He goes by the handle Collecting Candy, who seems to just be like a food historian, was like at some party for the foods that built America. And he was like, hey, it's me and Adam Richman, smile. And I was like, dude, we just spent an hour fucking sucking your dick on Fat Man Beyond. He was like, shut up. And he then posted a clip from Fat Man Beyond and so excited about it. Like, great. Now, what do we get? What's coming my way? Bunch of fucking Swanson TV dinners.
Oh my god! Oh, what's gonna be next is he's gonna get fucking whatchamacallit, the next we're gonna get a phone call from somebody we can't see, but they're gonna say his name was Milton Hershey, and we're gonna be like, Campbell Scott. Oh shit. All right. Somebody asked me a question in chat that I definitely wanted to answer. What was it? Trips Smythe said, I wonder if Kevin could handle living and working on a farm. I mean, really working on a farm. No. Was that ever in question? I'm from the mean streets of Highlands, kids. A town so tiny they won't call it a town. It's called the borough. Yeah, I've never. I mean, I've been to a farm, but like never once was I like I could work the land, I could till the land and shit.
I am very much a city mouse. I am not a country mouse.
Not even I mean, you are a city mouse because you grew up kind of in the city, correct?
Yeah. The boogie down.
Certainly one of the boroughs and shit. I'm a suburban mouse. We didn't even get a story about us. You know, it's like city mouse and country mouse. Meanwhile, suburban mouse was just fucking Gen Xing it off to the side, being like, just gonna watch the world burn.
I'm gonna go drink out of that faucet. I'm gonna ride my bike to the mall and wait till the streetlights come on.
I stand by the side and then I'm like, see those two mice? Two mice fell in a bowl of cream. Gentlemen, today I am that mouse.
Inside of all of us, there are two mice.
What a weird question. Why was I wonder why that was. The whole like, hey man.
Farm.
Yeah, why did I say someplace that I was like I could work on a farm?
Not that I recall. I think they were just curious.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Such a random thing to be curious about.
Also, just wanted to remind you, 9:26.
Good looking out.
Yeah, just the camp counts, just ruining the fun.
All right. Let's start the show.
Should we do an ad and then launch in?
Let's do that.
What should we do first, Will?
Dealer's choice. It's just a button for me.
That's what he said. All right, let's do Chubbies.
Let's do Chubbies, man. Before we do that, Trip Smythe said, so you are a suburban white boy. I mean, let's ask Mark. Mark?
I mean, one of us is definitely a suburban white boy.
He says, though I do love your Clerks movie series, though I wonder if you could do more. Not really. I've had 31 years. Seen all my tricks, honestly. Now it's just variations on a theme and shit like that. Until like, you know, let's say, yeah, no.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck? Like, it's not like I haven't fucking done a bunch of different things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm heading into my 17th feature, and joke as we may, they're not all the fucking same and shit like that. So, but as for like, you know, somebody, who was it? Somebody recently was like, you got an Academy Award winning script in you. And I was like, no, I don't. Why do you think that? Why have I ever indicated that I do or that I want that sort of thing? Like, no.
Look, you haven't indicated it, but if I may just say, you got me to cry in a Clerks movie. So yeah.
But that's enough. Like what? I gotta go harder than that? What the fuck?
You know, I really shouldn't comment on your standards because I think that's the reason why I'm still employed.
Yes, Will. What the fuck? No, but seriously, like, you know, everyone's like, yeah, I heard you did that. You got to do, but if you could do that, you could do this. No, not really. Like, I could do that under that very specific set of circumstances. And that's not even everyone's cup of tea and shit. But yeah, no, I'm a huge Kevin Smith fan, like unabashedly. I'm the biggest Kevin Smith fan on the planet. And even I know Kevin Smith ain't capable of fucking writing Academy Award winning anything. But he never indicated that that was his bag. Like, so I don't know. But yeah. So anyway, Doc, that's my week. Kids, so much to talk about. I don't know why I got hung up on the farmer thing. I felt real, I felt real like exposed, shamed. You know, I'm like, I'm not a farmer, but I've never claimed to be one. Or an Academy Award worthy filmmaker. Jesus. We just came to talk pop culture. Fuck. Kids, our first sponsor of the evening. We got two.
We do.
We love these cats. You know what we're talking about. It's Chubbies with the adorable fucking name, man. You want to follow along as we tell you the fucking Chubbies story? Please go right now to Chubbies Shorts, CHUBBIES, Shorts, SHORTS.com/beyond. You can take advantage while we're telling you we're telling you about our Chubbies.
We are.
I'll tell you about my Chubbies and stuff. Spring's almost here, so it's time to shake off those heavy layers, bust out those beautiful thighs, gentlemen. Whether you're on spring break or heading to a backyard barbecue, man, playing a round of golf or delivering a podcast ad read. God, these guys are good. Chubbies has the styles for any spring occasion, man, with a variety of bright and comfortable polos and high quality thigh exposing shorts. Chubbies has the styles to fit whatever spring vibe you're going for, man. Back in the gym, Chubbies has the ultimate training shorts for you. Looking for a more casual, comfortable fit for an outdoor brunch or walk in the park? As we all do, Chubbies Original Shorts gives you that classic feel with a modern look. And get this, they've even got everywhere shorts designed for performance and casual vibes at the same time. Maybe miracles are possible. Mark?
I mean, you can experience unmatched comfort and style with Chubby's iconic original stretch shorts. Depending on the style you're looking to show, Chubby's makes them in 4-inch, 5.5-inch, and 7-inch inseams. These shorts have the stretchiest fabric for ultimate movability and flexibility while maintaining a perfectly tailored fit. Elastic waistband with a button fly, yeah, pretty fly for a white guy. Pair the original stretch shorts with Chubby's lineup of Friday shirts, and now you're fucking cooking with gas, man. From casual button-downs to retro-inspired prints, these shirts are built to kick back, turn up, chill out, party down, and some other direction-based metaphor. You got your shorts lined up for spring? If not, check out their Everywhere Performance Short. Chubby's Everywhere Shorts feature quick-drying 4-way stretch fabric, an elastic waistband, and a secret hidden pocket. You know what those are for. Jelly beans. That's so, right. If you thought the deal couldn't get any sweeter, prepare to be proven wrong in the best way possible.
How?
For a very limited time. Only during the Chubby Spring Break sale, all shorts and swimwear is 35% off, with select styles at up to 65% off. That's how you do spring break, son. So head over to chubbiesshorts.com/beyond, CHUBBIES, SHORTS.com/BEYOND, and take advantage while you can. Make sure to support our show and tell them we sent you when the survey asks. Don't blend in with the crowd. Stand out with Chubbies.
That's right, man. We are proud to take our Chubbies out right here on Fat Man Beyond because they take us out to the world. We thank the good folks at Chubbies for sponsoring this here podcast.
Indeed.
Maybe last time after that Chubbies joke, they're like, you know what? It's low-hanging fruit. Why don't you aim higher? They're like, you've got an Academy Award-worthy script in you. I was like, Chubbies, I don't. Chubbies, Chubbies, you don't get it. I made Clerks. You know, I made like 9 Clerkses. Like, Chubbies, I don't want to do that. And Chubbies is like, you just don't, you're scared to push yourself. I said, no, Chubbies, that's not it. He goes, Kev, if Chubbies don't know you, who does? Let Chubbies in.
It's time for you to make episode 9, The Rise of Thigh Walker, just for Chubbies.
Where were you when I was fucking writing Clerks, man? That was a fire joke right there. I can't start putting new Star Wars jokes in my movies, everybody makes Star Wars jokes now. There was a time I was the only guy, and I really could have used that fucking thigh walker. My life could have been different. Could have been an Academy Award worthy writing screenwriter if I could speak. Okay. Let me see. Kabuki Kid says half the ad is Kev making fun of low-hanging fruit jokes. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. So, and fucking 2 minutes after the ad was the same thing. All right, man. Well, you got anything going on you want to talk about?
Not especially, man. This week has been it's been a busy week. It's been a writing week. The TV show that I'm working on, I just filed my outline for my very first episode. So we are moving and grooving. I cannot say what show it is yet, but when I can, I will. But I'm very happy to be there. I'll just leave it at that. I haven't seen anything since Brave New World. Yeah, I don't think
Reacher.
so.
I'm fresh on Reacher, man. I watched Reacher episode 4. Fantastic.
I haven't seen 4 yet. I just finished 3. I don't love it like I love season 1 though.
I'm loving it. I can watch him do anything, man. I'll watch him fucking, like, at one point he answered the door and the French maid was there and shit, and he had all his fucking gear off except for his briefs and shit, and he just looks like a fucking action figure. He looks like a He-Man figure.
He does.
He does.
But
not as big as last year, which I guess he was prohibitively big and didn't fight as much because of that and stuff. So this year I think he looks fantastic.
I do look forward to every instance where the allegedly Bostonian detective DEA woman is always just like looking at him like with deep lust in her eyes. Like he swims to shore in one episode and walks out of the woods just glistening with water in his tidy black briefs, and the lady boner is visible from afar.
Yeah.
Whenever
get on screen, my room gets a little more moist. I look over at my wife and I'm like, she's like,
I get it.
Yeah, she's like, fucking, he's reaching something.
Well, this won't be an episode of The Reach Around with Kevin Mark. We're going to talk about.
I also watched Companion again. I saw it twice now, once in the theater and once with my wife.
Still haven't seen it.
Excellent movie. Go in knowing very little. So fucking fun. So well done. Great screenplay. Like, if there was any justice, people would be like, hey man, give this writer fucking some big attention and shit. Definitely enjoy one of the more enjoyable films I've seen fairly recently.
Nice.
Can't say enough good things about it. Ear Mixon says, did you already talk about the Tide commercial? What Tide commercial? Austin? The one Austin's in?
DILF, yeah, that's got to be what he's talking about. Austin,
the boy from the 4:30 movie, the boy who played me, little me, when I was little, rather, not little me. The boy who, full disclosure, sleeps beside my daughter, and that's it. Austin is in a couple commercials, man, including a Tide commercial that's tied into Captain America. It's one of those spin-off commercials and shit where they use footage from the movie and then tell a little story and shit.
And doesn't Matt fly next to the bus stand that he's waiting at or something like that?
Something like that. And then he's in another spot. Like, yeah, he's got like a lot of commercial work and stuff. He's got that great look. Like, could cast him in a bunch of stuff. So I keep fucking telling him, you better marry my daughter right now while you got that fucking residual money coming in. You propose, Captain Commercials.
Do it now.
Yeah. Listen here, Albert Advertising. You make an honest woman of my daughter, madman. All right. What else? Do I have other news? I've seen some fire comic book artwork and covers for some upcoming projects that I'm involved in. And I can't share any of it yet, but my God, it makes me so happy. I love comic books. It's a big comic book year for me.
Is it? There was a piece of news that broke out of Comics Pro, the big sales convention for all of the comic book producers and retailers and stuff, that Marvel and DC for the first time in like almost 20 years are doing crossovers. They're doing a Marvel/DC and then a DC/Marvel.
Wow, man. This is the last time they did it was the Amalgam Universe?
I think so, but even that was less, it was less a direct sort of like, oh, here's Superman and fucking Spider-Man hanging out together. Right. Where I think this is what this is going to be. I think it's just one shots. I don't think it's a whole line or a miniseries or anything. But yeah, I think it was like Marie Javins and CB Cebulski announced it at Comics Pro. They're like, yeah, they're crossing over, which is kind of a beautiful thing.
It's awesome. I'm all for it, man. I can't wait till the fucking movies start crossing over. It'll happen in our lifetime. I don't think we even have to wait until we're old, man. I bet you within 10 years.
I think so.
Yeah, they're like, look, man, we got to put some fucking gas in this tank. What would make them come back to the theaters? If fucking Hulk punched Batman in the nuts. Oh, they'd pay so much money for that.
Puny Batman.
Hulk smash. Batman shows no emotion whatsoever. It's like, you think that hurts? My parents were killed in front of me in an alley. That's what this story is about. The story of a broken little boy who watched his parents die in Crime Alley. You think kicking me in the nuts hurt? Nothing hurts. I'm like that boy from Novocaine. Speaking of which, Jack Quaid is also in Companion and really good. So is Sophie Thatcher. Great cast across the boards, man. Can't say enough good things about it. So clever. Am I alone out there? Did anyone see Companion?
No, the chat seemed to agree with your Companion review.
Good times. Good ass times.
Good ass times. All right. Should we hit some news?
Let's do it.
All right. The big news of this week is that
news. Just waiting for you to jump in, man. You sound like you were going to.
I'm just newsing. I'm Mike Turnering below the news. So when you're doing Proud Mary, I'm just rolling news.
All right, but just faster, would you? News. You want credit every time you do it right?
Yes.
What do you want, a fucking cookie? Okay. Let's talk about the news. Mark's got the news. What is the news, man?
The news this week, Kathy Kennedy has plans to step down.
Bullshit.
From running Lucasfilm.
Is that right?
Yeah, she
bet you the internet fucking said some things about that. Fuck.
The internet had feelings, as the internet always does. The Puck newsletter initially ran with the story. Hollywood Reporter has confirmed that Kathy Kennedy has told associates she plans to retire by the end of 2025.
I mean, look, I know people are like livid with her on the internet. People who feel like Star Wars is not the Star Wars they recognize anymore. That all aside, Kathy Kennedy, the single most successful producer in the history of film, but based on box office, or has Kevin Feige beaten that by now?
I think Kevin Feige has beaten it only because he's had more movies. Or at least
he had more movies. You're talking about she worked on like
I have misspoken. As Lucasfilm CEO, she's had less movies.
But as a real live producer before she took over Lucasfilm, the thankless job of taking over Lucasfilm,
Yes, she has produced or executive produced more than 70 films. So yeah, she
And
wins.
all of them bangers that, like, you know, I'm not saying they're all great quality, but they're all made fucking loot, man. Like, she was Spielberg's right hand, and fuck.
Indeed. So yes, she has a credit on Raiders, E.T., Gremlins, Color Purple, Goonies, Empire of the Sun, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Back to the Future trilogy, Indiana Jones trilogy. She's there's a lot of whip left in that lady's resume.
Just saying, man. It's like, you know, for all the people that are like, oh, like, I don't like what she's done with Star Wars and whatnot. That's a hell of a track record.
It really is.
Prior to that, whether, you know, you're happy with the Lucasfilm output or not, like, that history, respect.
Yeah. So like the news broke that she was retiring from Lucasfilm, putting succession plans in place.
And a lot of the internet was like, can you feel a brand new day? Can you feel it? It's life day. And then they break into the we come to life day. Do you know the lyrics to that fucking song?
Nah, man.
Like, I bet you, you know, if he was here, Banff Man would.
Oh, that is his karaoke jam, I'm sure. Like he program it into the Scum and Villainy fucking jukebox just so he could sing it.
Listen here, DILF fucker. Can you fucking step in for Will Wilkins and fucking croon? Come on now, Will. Step in for JC.
Will's like, my name's Paul. This is between y'all.
Oh,
yeah.
Didn't he say that he was like, I'm going to be making fucking dinner at one point? And he said that specifically. It's like, at one point, I have to walk away for 4 minutes to make a heated dinner and shit. That was the moment that I'm like, hey!
What? Oh, absentee landlord.
Just goes to show you, kids, you got to always be ready.
You got to
always be ready.
Be ready so you don't have to get ready.
The day of the Lord cometh like a thief in the night.
All of this story came out about Kathy Kennedy. Today, she spoke to Deadline Hollywood, and they straight up asked her, like, are you going to retire? What's your deal? And her quote was, the truth is, and I just want to say it loud and clear, I am not retiring. I will never retire from movies. I will die making movies. I'm not retiring. What's happening at Lucasfilm is I have been talking for quite some time with both Bob Iger and Alan, another Alan, who co-runs, I think is Alan Horn, perhaps, about what eventual succession might look like. We have an amazing bench of people here, and we have every intention of making an announcement months or a year down the road. We are in lockstep as to what that's going to be, and I'm continuing. I'm producing Mandalorian, the movie right now. I'm also producing Sean Levy's movie, which is after that. So I'm continuing to stay at Lucasfilm and looking very thoughtfully with Bob and Alan as to who is stepping in. It's all underway, and we have every right to make that announcement when we want to make it. So there is a succession plan that is in place because I think that she might feel like she just doesn't want to do this for the rest of her life. She still has movies she wants to make that are not Star Wars movies, but she's not retiring from the business. And when she leaves Lucasfilm, it sounds like it's going to be on her own terms. She's not being ushered out the door. She's not being cast aside. She is very much in control of her own destiny. She won't say who they're talking to about as a succession plan. You know, you'd have to be a fool to not think that Dave Filoni is part of that conversation, if not at the top of whatever internal list that they're pulling together. But yeah, you know, like she says, I'm not going to be here forever. George Lucas asked her 13 years ago to step in, and now she's looking at who's going to replace her. And they have a bench of people internally to handle the business, the creative side. The job has grown since she stepped in. There was no streaming. There weren't a lot of the things we're involved in right now. So it's grown. So yeah, she's thinking about making a plan. She's definitely looking to the future that does not include Star Wars in it, but she's not going anywhere anytime soon. Because she's got at the very least, you know, 6 or 7 years worth of Star Wars movie to make between Mandalorian and between Sean Levy's Star Wars movie.
I got nothing. Sounds like a non-story. It sounds like everyone's like, she's leaving. And then she's like, well, one day.
At some point, yes. Like, I'm not going to die making.
All right. Well,
Yeah, but it is just another, like, the internet has long ago decided, passed verdict on her as the head of the Star Wars universe, and has found her wanting. And so there was a little bit of a, ding dong revelry when the story broke, which feels, as you say, a little bit odd, given that she's an incredibly successful producer who has done not inconsiderable work making Star Wars movies. Like, however you or I might feel about, the sort of sequel trilogy, they made bank,
Let me ask you this.
Ask me this.
A couple years back,
Hmm.
they're making a Han Solo movie, young Han Solo.
Hmm.
They shoot a whole ass movie, almost get done. It's with Lord and Miller, kids that did Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Then at the last second, they pull the plug, go back to the drawing board, make a whole new movie practically, with another director.
Ronnie Howard.
Cost as much, if not more, than the first one. Do you think there are moments where she's like, should have just let him do the other one?
I cannot say, only because I've not seen that footage. I would love to see the Miller and Lord footage.
I was gonna say, like, how not how bad could it be? How could it be bad?
Mm.
You're talking about two professional storytellers, man, who won an Academy Award for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Was that the one they won for? Yes.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse. You think ever in this lifetime we'll see it?
We would have to know a guy or a gal in the house who had access to it.
I don't know, man. If I was them, I might be like, let's just finish it and put it out there and be like, here.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a sort of, Zack Snyder's Justice League version of it, where it's like there's enough to cobble together with minimal investment to give you a movie, or if, I don't know how much of it they shot, enough that they didn't like it. But yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, I think the reporting at the time was that it was too funny, that they didn't want it to be a comedy, that they still wanted it to be sort of a Star Wars adventure.
It's just so strange because, like, there's always humor in those movies.
DILF. Sorry. Yeah, I was making pizza.
Ding, ding, ding.
Excellent fucking timing. We thought you were coming in with fucking news. We were like, ding, ding. Kathleen Kennedy is leaving.
No, that I've seen that leaf blow both ways.
Somebody asked in chat if I was drunk. Oh, I'm drunk, all right, kids. It's not even a sponsor. Just
On caffeine.
10 calories of fucking fire in my belly. I know we got another ad to do. Should we do that or do it after the news?
Or we can intercept the news with an ad if we'd like to. We got a couple more stories before we get to the.
Let's do some more stories, man. I would hate to be in the audience and be like, what the fuck? Another ad. God damn it. Give us the news.
So give us the news.
Sounds like somebody's been listening to Beardless Dickless Me.
Beardless Dickless Me, a podcast I do with my kid. Ladies and gentlemen, over on Spotify and wherever you get your podcasts. New episode just dropped today.
Outstanding.
Join that Kevin Smith Club to watch it. Anyway, that's my news.
How is Harley? I haven't seen Harley in a while.
She's good. Yeah. The short version is she's good. The long version is like all of us, She has days where she sorts through things, and days, in the immortal words of John Bon Jovi, as sung by Stevie Nicks. Sometimes it's a bitch, sometimes it's a breeze.
That was a deep cut. I was not expecting. I was expecting.
Sometimes it's blind, sometimes it sees, sometimes it's roses, and sometimes it's weed, sometimes it's a bitch, sometimes it's a breeze. All right, I am drunk. No, I'm kidding. It's in a good ass fucking mood. I'm getting my movie financed and shit. Fuck. A lot of people ain't working in this business, man. Somehow somebody's just like, shall we bet on him one more time? Like, this is the time. This is when he's going to do that Academy Award winning screenplay everyone's always talking about.
That was the time.
Back to the news.
A couple quick Star Wars hits. They're releasing a what is it, 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. Where is that? Coming this April 25th. They're re-releasing it back into theaters in 40X.
Bam.
So
Or DILF.
Deacon.
Yeah. I found out this news from Brett Deacon himself. He messaged it to me.
Brett Deacon, friend of show Brett Deacon, who provides tickets to 40X and the ScreenX experience.
Indeed. And he's hooking me up so I can go see this bad boy in 40X. Because I heard Revenge of the Sith. Oh, well, that's cute that it's coming out. But then I heard I could see it in 40X, and I'm like, I'm in.
Just rattle my balls to powder. Give it to me. Yeah. Was there another piece of Star Wars news that I had? Oh, yeah. Andor season 2 trailer dropped.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. It looks so fucking dope, man.
Tony Gilroy texted me. Somebody was like, Tony Gilroy would like to text you. And I was like, oh my God. Give him my fucking number. And I was, I thought oh, Tony Gilroy's probably working on Andor. And he made that reference, in the press last time. He was just like, well, we just took the Kevin Smith Death Star contractor conversation from Clerks and just made a whole show about it, joking and shit. So I was like, oh shit, maybe Tony Gilroy wants me to pop up in Andor and shit like that. The way that Bill Burr popped up in the fucking Mandalorian and whatnot. That was not what he was reaching out. No. I was not asked to be a part of Andor in any way, shape, or form. But a lovely dude. I'm a huge fan of Michael Clayton.
Yeah, it's been getting a lot of play on cable, on pay cable these days. So
you think because of Andor?
I'm not sure. Maybe it's a cheap movie to acquire. Maybe it's just fuck it. Who doesn't want to watch? Who wouldn't drop in and watch half an hour of Michael Clayton if they could?
Killer cast, man. Particularly if it's the last half hour, man, when he's facing off against what's her name?
I'm not the man you buy. I'm not the man you kill. I'm the man you buy.
You are fucked. You don't even know how fucked you are. All right. What else we got? Watch the trailer.
Watch the trailer. Go watch. It's great. Comes out late April. Cannot fucking wait. Season 1 of Andor is one of my favorite Star Wars things ever. One of my favorite TV shows the last 10 years. Give me more, please. So yes. James Gunn held a press event to sort of get everybody up to speed on what is happening and not happening with DC Studios. Clearly, they are very focused on Superman, which comes out this coming July 15th, I believe.
Wait. Don't make me wait, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
What is this that he was talking about? What is and what isn't happening?
Indeed.
At DC Studios?
Correct.
So on the what is happening list, just so I'm aware.
Yes.
Kevin Smith working with DC Studios?
He did not mention as much. Is Kevin Smith working with DC Studios?
Ooh, Jimmy Gunn. You know how I work with these studios, Mark? Pull out my fucking hard-earned dollar and I pay for that entertainment. And then I go see it. Actually, I don't pay for it anymore. I own my own movie theater. Humble brag.
I paid a lot up front to see these.
That's right. You damn Skippy. What's going on? What did they announce? Anything new? Anything cool? Or is it the same old secret bullshit? We don't get fucking new details till they drop another fucking trailer. My bad can't be spoil the whole thing, James. That's what I want. Just tell us everything now.
Tell us everything. Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is currently in production, halfway through production in London. Lanterns.
And Momoa as Lobo.
Jason Momoa as Lobo. Lanterns with Kyle Chandler and Aaron Pierre is currently started shooting last week in LA.
I happen to know a little bit about that. Not really. I don't know anything, but my DP has lenses that he rents out to other productions, and some of his lenses are out on Lanterns. So I was like, ooh, when the lenses come back, man, do you think we can like look at the footage on the hard drive? He goes, they're lenses. That's when and he looked at me with this kind of like, have you been a filmmaker for 31 years? Do you know what a lens is? I said, no, I don't
know. Clayface, with the script by Mike Flanagan, has found a director, and they're supposed to shoot this summer for fall 26 release. Sergeant Rock, which is impossibly going to be directed by Luca Guadagnino. He of Queer and Call Me by Your Name.
Call Me by My Name. Call Me by Your.
I thought it was Your Name, his name, their name, my name,
my name. But that movie,
that had theoretically at one point been postured, positioned as a Daniel Craig vehicle, is not a Daniel Craig movie. Looking for its star. The animated movie Dynamic Duo is currently in pre-production. Peacemaker season 2 comes out this August. Let's see what else we got. We looking through. It was a long fucking story. They reiterate that they're writer driven. They're not going to greenlight or put anything into production until they're happy with the script. It's hard enough making a good movie with a good script. It's almost impossible to make a movie with a script that you're still writing on the run. Let's see. Superman, Supergirl, they did say that they have a 6-year plan that would include an Avengers Endgame style culmination, which they hadn't said before, although, doesn't seem like the craziest idea. They wanted an Amanda Waller TV show that would have starred Viola Davis. According to Peter Safran, who's James Gunn's partner, they have a couple of cracks at it, but still haven't been able to land that script. Booster Gold is waiting for a showrunner to make time for it, but maybe he fell out of love, maybe got busy. So they're pivoting away from that. The Authority, which was a project that James Gunn always sort of loved, said that the script has had a harder time coming along and it hasn't been that much of a priority. James Mangold is apparently infatuated with the Swamp Thing, but it also seems to have cooled off a little bit, given that Jimmy Mangold is off doing a Star Wars movie, so I get it. They have no intention of using Robert Pattinson as the larger DC Studios Batman. It is still going to be 2 separate kind of universes.
I mean, we always figured this, right?
We always figured this. They're developing The Brave and the Bold, centered on Batman and his son, Damian Wayne. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damian Robin?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see.
I look, I'm going to say it. Please don't clip it out and put it all over the internet, but I prefer Dick Grayson. I do.
Fair.
I prefer the first
one. Andy Muschietti, who directed The Flash, is still, I think, attached to direct Brave and the Bold, but they're still waiting on a script. They're developing it now. Andy will be the first one to see it, says Peter Safran. Let's see. There's no Robert Pattinson we talked about. They don't know if there's going to be a second season of The Penguin. Much depends on Colin Farrell himself.
He won a SAG award the other night, didn't he?
He won a SAG award. He's won. I think he won the Golden Globe. He is being roundly rewarded and feted for his work as as Oz Cobb. Does he want to get back under 800 pounds of latex to play that? Unclear.
In chat, Doubt Barisha said, Dick aged out. He's Nightwing now. Captain. Do you know how old I am? Do you know how long he's been Nightwing? I've been around. I've been alive and in short pants since he was Disco Nightwing, kid. I know what happens to Robin, but that don't mean just because that's what happened in the comics, that's what we got to follow in the fucking movie. Yeah, I mean, have they done justice to Robin yet cinematically?
No, not even close.
You know, Chris O'Donnell playing more of a Nightwing and eventually a Nightwing's more so than a Robin. So, and Damian Wayne, you know, fun character, but like, it's a lot of explanation for that backstory before you even begin your tale. Like, people are like, why is Robin like a killer now? And Batman has a son? What the fuck? I wish it was Dick Grayson, but I'm not going to lose sleep over it and shit. I'm happy to watch any Batman movie. As long as they give me Reacher as Batman, and that's who it's going to be. There's no way it ain't fucking Alan Richardson at this point. If I'm a betting man, based on that image of Batman in what, Creature Commandos?
Mm-hmm.
Up in the rafters, that Batman was big.
I mean, the absolute Batman is a fucking unit. Like, that dude is a Mack truck.
We're going to get Reacher Batman. It's going to be fucking amazing. But, yeah. I know there's some people in chat who are like, fuck Dick Grayson, man. Fuck Dick. Tim. They like the fucking Tim. They also like Jason Todd, but come on, man. Dick Grayson deserves his time in the sun. And I'm talking about like not, you know, fucking 28-year-old Dick Grayson. Like, don't y'all want to see like a little kid, like a billionaire putting a little child in harm's way? That's, you only can see that in comic books, for heaven's sake.
He's my ward. Yeah, but maybe we should take him away from you.
Such a weird angle.
Like, why is that boy beat up every time we come to this house?
Yeah. Bruce. When they first started telling these stories, they probably didn't have like a division of youth and family services and shit.
Yeah. No diapers.
Like Bill Finger wasn't like, well, we better explain this.
Yep. It's like, child labor is fine. Everybody's okay with it.
I mean, I get it on the comic book page because your audience primarily was kids. So it's like, hey, let's show them themselves in the comic book and let them pretend to be part of the adventure. But that's why that shit works, dude. On a comic book page. That's why I like my comic book movies to not be like, this is what it'd be like if this shit was real. This is the real Batman. It's like, well, then it falls apart. Because if I want real Batman, I'll watch Reacher. I want my Batman to have an air of fantasy about it. I want him fighting dudes in tights and leotards. I want him swinging through the sky with an orphan boy on a rope like that. That's the Batman I'm looking for. Come on, gun, fire that.
Orphan boy on a rope monthly.
Nope Alone says Tim is better than Damian. Nerd Large says Damian is my Robin. I guess everybody's Robin is somebody's Robin, but like, could you imagine if Damian Wayne was your first Robin? Like, part of the fun of Damian Wayne is juxtaposing him against, you know, fucking Dick Grayson, young Robin, and other Robins and stuff. The earnestness of Robins, the non-killiness of Robins. Would that work if you never, you know, got to hear those stories?
I mean, it's the same thing as like, there are some kids for whom the prequel trilogy is their Star Wars.
And let's be honest, Mark, I have my own movie to worry about now. So these are not my problems. If they want to do Damian Wayne Robin, by all means do Damian Wayne Robin.
Let it blossom.
Yeah.
Let it grow.
Let it go. Let it go. Still, right. Before we let it go, I still feel like, God, and I'm not trying to low-hanging fucking puns here, but feel like we got to do justice to Dick still. They, not we. I got no skin in the game. I feel like there's a Dick Grayson Robin, cinematic Dick Grayson Robin out there that we've yet to see. Am I crazy? Like,
No,
Chris O'Donnell, anybody else? And the ones on TV and like Teen Titans, that one boy who was like, fuck Batman. Remember that? That was their big thing, man.
the entire marketing
Episode, he's
campaign.
like, chop, 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 chop. And then they're like, what about Batman? He turns around and is like, fuck Batman. And they're like, Titans or whatever the fuck it was. They're like, oh, that's how we're going to announce our presence with authority.
Yeah, that's how we're going to sell you the DC Universe app. Fuck Batman. All right.
Wow, Seattle KO just put it all in perspective. Said, "Hey, Chris O'Connell. I'm sure they mean Chris O'Donnell, but Chris O'Connell was somebody's Robin. That's right. To somebody that's somebody that's my chair squeaking. I don't want anyone thinking I'm farting over here.
I mean, we all think you're farting over there.
I don't want you thinking it. This is the chair.
All right, because I mean, I always believe when I'm on a Zoom, anybody on the other side is just hotboxing their own fucking farts.
I'll let you know. I'll work it into the show and shit. I'm an entertainer. I'll use everything in my quiver, every arrow I got, even if it's gas out my head. All right, where else we going?
Well, let's do our second ad, and then we'll get back into the news, and then we're going to make people depressed for a little bit.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, man. Ad number 2, the good folks at Graza.
That's right, folks. The good folks at Graza. And like all our sponsors, we absolutely adore them. But I'm going to tell you right now, as a guy who who fancies himself something of a grill chef.
Ooh, a gourmand.
I have been, for the last 2 months, been making Beyond Burgers and Juicy Marbles, which is a fake filet mignon, which is amazing. They're both fire on the grill. And what I've been doing before I even turn the grill on, I scrape it, take the Graza, I pour the Graza all over the rag, Mark.
Ooh, oil it down.
I tuck it out the rag. Oh, it's good. No, I tell you, I put the Graza on the rag, and then I do the grill up and down, grease the grill with the Graza, because they got 2 kinds. The Graza, if you don't know, kids, is this amazing fucking only one olive oil from one region. No mysterious blends, man. That means a traceable, fresher product without mixing any low-grade or unknown oils, man. They make fire olive oil, not just for drizzling Graza, not just for drizzling like on your fucking foods and shit, but also for cooking with. So I've been cooking with it like crazy, man. It's good. It's tasty. My kid, this is how good it is. My kid took 2 of my bottles away. They sent me 2 bottles and shit. Kid took those. Luckily, I had one. I know. It's that good, man. Head to graza.com right now. Use the Fat Man code, FATMAN. You're going to get 10% off a trio, which includes sizzle, frizzle, and drizzle. And you get to cook them with your next chef quality meal, man. The frizzle is higher 490 degree Fahrenheit smoke point, perfect for frying, crisping, or grilling. That's what I do. The sizzle at 410 Fahrenheit, an everyday cooking oil for roasting, marinating, and sauteing. And then the drizzle, a bold, punchy finishing oil you can sprinkle on salads, dip bread in it, or even top off ice cream. Have you ever done that? Put olive oil on ice cream?
No, but it sounds fucking decadent.
Now that you think about it, you're like, maybe I'll try. It's like when you put salt on a cookie and you're like, who fucking knew? Single origin goodness, as we said, but super fun squeeze and spray bottles. No more messy tins or drippy spouts, man. Just aim, squeeze, and go. I'll tell you, I love squeezing mine. I put it on the rag, man. I pretend like I'm about to kidnap somebody. I put the Graza on the rag and then I pass out and shit right on the grill.
Steak. Does this rag smell funny?
Yeah, I don't know. Let me see. I can't say enough good things about these cats, man. They make a fine product. This episode of Fat Man Beyond being brought to you by Graza, My new favorite olive oil, man. It's fresh. It's never blended. Because that's the thing, man. Like, think about it. A bunch of different olives from all over the joint. They put it in one bottle and shit. Maybe those olives don't get along. Maybe they don't like each other and stuff.
Cats and dogs sleeping together.
Yes. They take all their olives from one region, man, right in the bottle. It's never blended. Comes from a single type of olive. The picule. Straight out of Spain. High in Spain. Where over half the world's olive oil is produced, man. These Graza people, they do a fucking fire job. 10% off your first order on Graza's site, kids. But I personally suggest grabbing the trio. That's all 3 squeezy bottles, man. The sizzle, the frizzle, and the drizzle. So you're set for every style of cooking. Head to graza.co and use Fatman, Fatman, Graza, Graza.co. Use the code Fatman, all one word, to get 10% off the trio, which includes the sizzle, the frizzle, and the drizzle, and get to cooking your next chef quality meal, man. We thank the good folks at Graza for sponsoring this here podcast. I can't say enough good things, man. When I saw those free fucking olive oil bottles come in, I was like, now that's that. Now we're talking. I says, Will Wilkins, more oils. I said, more precious minerals and oils as sponsors. I says,
indeed.
Can I just tell you? By the way, Graza is so savvy because, like, you know, I'm always on some type of streaming media, and a lot of cooking people come through my feed, right? And I start seeing the Graza popping up in the background. They're not even talking about the oil, but they're building awareness and presence. I'm like, that's diabolical. Can I get me some of that Graza money from my boys? And here we go.
Let me tell you something. I seen Graza in the store. You know what I'm saying? Out in the wild. I was at a Whole Foods. Look, I'm just going to throw this out there. I know I'm going to get judged.
Do it.
Probably going to be called the bi-coastal elite. But I was in both a Whole Foods and a Sprouts this week. Not an Erewhon. I'm not a fucking billionaire. But I was in both of those stores. And I saw Graza in one of them. Both of those stores are fucking impressive for Graza to be in. When I saw it, I was like, I know that. It was like seeing someone you know on TV where you're like, oh my God, they're famous. I know that person. That's how I felt seeing Graza in the wild.
I thought when I was reading the copy that, like, did Snoop Dogg get himself a Snow White movie and are Drizzle, Frizzle, and Sizzle the name of his dwarves?
Why are you giving out good ideas, man? That was just like, you know what? Let's cut that out of the fucking podcast when it goes up. Can't do a thing about it live, but that's such a strong idea.
Here's Snoop.
I got a comic book label. We can test drive ideas like that out.
Let's go.
All right, kids.
Fair enough.
Back to the news.
We're gonna hit a couple quick things and then get into
the fuck.
Yeah. Marvel Television has confirmed that a Punisher special, a very special episode of The Punisher is coming, starring John Bernthal. It's going to be kind of like Werewolf.
Wonderful fucking actor, man. I mean, that's what a bold fucking statement to go on record with. But I saw him pop up in something else recently, and I was like, geez. Oh, the trailer for The Accountant too.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy just won't stop working in the best way. He's great and everything. But then I saw something about he going to be writing some Punisher. Is that it?
He's co-writing this special, which, like, fuck yeah, like give me more Bernthal. I want to go long on the Bernthal stock. Like, I think this dude is going to keep working. He's always good, but I feel like he's the stealth player. He's the most valuable player in almost everything that he's in. And, like, he still needs that shine. He still needs that big thing to break him big. But then again, you wouldn't see as much of him if we had it. You know, like, he hasn't had his, like, John Hamm moment. He hasn't had, like, where's your madman? Where's your thing that we can all just look at you and say, fucking Johnny Bernthal, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, true. He's been in everything and he's great in everything. But yeah, he hasn't had the one, like, defining thing. And maybe that's good for him as an artist. He's like, I don't want to be defined. But yeah, where's his Tony Soprano role?
Yeah. Where's his, like, I'm going to do
James
this.
Gandolfini was always like a dependable fucking, like, you know, co-star or fucking like, you know, cameo player or whatever. And then one day he got a lead and really got to show you what he was capable of. Bernthal, you know, has worked in the foreground far more than Gandolfini did before he got Sopranos. So it's not a 1-to-1 ratio, but I feel you. There's a John Bernthal role waiting out there. So far, it's the Punisher, though. Let's be honest.
Yeah, you know, it is, and he's very good in it. But, you know, I think he can do so many different kinds of things that to find the role that lets him do it. You know what he'd be fucking great at? The human target. You know, like as a guy who's got a
Damian Chase.
Yeah. But like the guy who needs to pretend.
Oh, is that his name? I'm thinking Adrian Chase. What was the name of the human target?
Christopher Chance.
Chris Chance. Chance, human target.
But like, you know, to be able to every episode just drop in and be a completely different person, a bit of a chameleon. And so like to show him doing comedy and drama and intensity and humor and all of it, like he needs that kind of just fucking showpiece. Not that he needs it. He's doing fine. I would just like to see that for him. I'd like the world to just recognize him for the awesomeness that he is.
He's wonderful in the Bear as the brother.
Yeah, like, you know, he's like eyedroppered in. Like he's in 2 episodes a season. They're always fucking great.
Look, I'm sorry, this is apropos of nothing, but you're watching Paradise.
Yes.
Did you watch the most recent episode?
Yes.
Honestly, one of the best hours of television I've seen maybe in my entire life. So gripping, so scary, so tense, so well done. Like you could drop in, just watch that episode and be like, holy fuck. it was excellent, man. Fantastic cast. Sterling, Marsden, Nicholson.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just, you fucking love to hate her character. Like
leaning in. So
fuck. And she's so fucking good at being bad. You're just like, oh, I hate this prick so much. Like I'm the guy that always watches things. I'm like, shoot him, shoot her. Like fucking don't hesitate. Fucking. There's a moment in Reacher tonight. We were watching Reacher, and I was like, why isn't Reacher like knock him out, and while he's knocked out, rip his dick off and then sew him up so he don't bleed out. So then if the dude does get away, at least Reacher left his mark. You know what I'm saying? This is why they don't let me write Reacher, Mark.
At some point in a later date, he has his dick as blackmail. I kept it.
Look, you want to, you know, fucking blue sky all day. I'm all for it. What happens to the dick next? We go on a whole adventure. It takes another writer. But I every once in a while when I watch things, I'm like, man, just fucking kill him. But that would, you know, when the show goes in a different direction or it's over and shit.
Although that was a bit of season 1, was just like, oh, he just killed that person. Oh shit!
That's the thing. It's like I would never think to solve my problems that way, but Reacher does it all the time. So it's just like, and in the case of this guy I'm talking about, he did. I mean, are you current on Reacher?
I haven't seen 4. I've seen the first 3.
So as you'll see, I ain't gonna spoil anything. Reacher has been good though, but I'm all for the heroes, like, you know, fucking leaving a mark, man.
There's that exchange in season 1 where what's her face, the lady cop whose name I cannot remember, was like, Reacher, it looks like this guy was shot in the back. Did you shoot him in the back? It's like, yeah, I didn't want to wait for him to turn around. Yeah, man. That's my Reacher.
I love it. I love it so much.
right,
Johnny Sparta Jr. in chat says this isn't live. It is live, but we are like 15 seconds, 20 seconds behind or something like that.
Something like that.
So, I mean, but this is live. This ain't fucking, we're not AI.
No.
You think fucking DILF Man just set into like Chat GPT, middle-aged white guy, middle-aged black guy talking about pop culture?
Go.
We popped up.
Execute.
We're real.
Continue.
We're not programs.
Have
Are we, Will?
have you ever written an AI like command? So basically, in order to properly execute what
I don't
you're
mean to
describing,
sound judgy,
yeah,
but I'm a writer.
no, that's fine, man. I understand.
I have a command of the words of
you're
the language.
you're pure and clean, but I'm untalented and lazy. So in order to do this, I would have to actually put in. It would start off saying, I want you to represent two podcasters. Then I would have to explain everything I possibly believed was contextual for Kevin Smith and for Marc Bernardin, and then I would have to give it a subject matter and then say go. And it sometimes it is eerie the kind of results you can get, or seeing what these things interpret what you thought and then churn it out. So it's amusing from that factor, but I hate AI as a concept. Sorry, I don't know why I chimed in with all that. I'll see myself out.
You're gonna lose our listeners with a hot take like that. A bunch of people gonna fucking dive off the show.
All right, we got 60 seconds until we hit the hour.
So... Oh my God. Finish. Big finish.
Shuffleball. Real quick, the Bears, Io Adebri is writing and might star in A24's live-action Barney movie.
I love that. That loves me. That's a great idea. Moving on. She seems very talented.
She seems incredibly talented. The only reason that I could give a shit about it is if she is writing and starring in it.
It's got to be an angle where it's like, oh shit, well that must be. If she's right now, she's got the world by a string, right? Like she's the actor, one of the actors of the moment. So for her to be going in that direction, being like, I want to make a Barney movie, she ain't fucking gambling.
Yeah.
Well, she got the keys to the kingdom. There must be something up there, man. It's going to be an amazing movie you watch.
Indeed. All right, now's the part of the show where we depress the fuck out of people for another 45 minutes.
Oh, let's start with the guy.
Let's start with Roberto Orci, writer-producer who worked on some of the biggest action, adventure, and sci-fi movies and TV shows from the last 20 years. Died in his home in Los Angeles at 51 years old after a battle with kidney disease. He was a writer-producer on J.J. Abrams' Star Trek reboot, as well as the 2007 Transformers movie and its follow-up. He also co-wrote Mission Impossible 3, The Legend of Zorro, the Now You See Me franchise, Proposal, Eagle Eye, The Mummy, as well as The Amazing Spider-Man 2. On TV, he was a co-creator, executive producer of the Hawaii Five-0 reboot, Fringe on Fox, Sleepy Hollow. He worked on Alias and CBS's Scorpion. Like this guy was just a part of the fabric of the genre that we love on television and in movies for the last 2 decades. And 51 is too damn young.
That's very young. I think I came across him once. There's 2 of them, right? Or
Kurtzman and Orci. Alex Kurtzman and Robert Orci.
I think I met the Departed briefly at a con at one point.
Yeah.
Seemed like a nice person and stuff, but 50, Jesus, that's criminally young.
Yeah.
Ain't no justice in this world, kids. It's sad to hear that. But the silver lining is that you got to sing his song, express his art, and in small ways, because of that, he'll always be with us. You know what I'm saying? It's a small measure of comfort for those who loved The Departed, but yeah.
Indeed. Speaking of too damn young, Michelle Trachtenberg.
No, don't go there. First, we'll finish with Michelle. Go to Gene Hackman.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
I didn't know Gene Hackman.
Fair. Gene Hackman died.
Oh, this is terrible, man. Fucking one of the greatest actors. I didn't know him, but I was a big fan of Gene Hackman's work.
Indeed. He was 95 when he passed. He had been retired for a good long while. Because I think he just had his fill of it, or felt like the gifts were diminishing. It's super unclear, but he had pretty much tapped out in the sort of late 2000s, I think.
It was Welcome to Mooseport.
Yeah, in 2000.
Last flick with with Ray Romano.
Yeah. But I mean, he was a fixture of the 70s, 80s, 90s in terms of being movie actors, won 2 Academy Awards. The list goes fucking on and on and on. French Connection, Unforgiven, Bonnie and Clyde, Mississippi Burning, Superman 1, 2, 4, Poseidon Adventure, The Conversation, you know, fucking The Firm, Quick and the Dead, Crimson Tide, like all of it. Like this guy was just, he was a character actor who was also somehow a movie star, who played tough guys, but kind of abhorred violence, you know, in his own personal life. Yeah, like there are few people who has left as sort of a subtle, deep mark in Hollywood as Gene Hackman. Like always reliable, always beloved. But yeah, and the circumstances of his passing are still under investigation. Like he was found with his wife, who had also passed away, and one of their dogs had also passed away. It initially had been ruled there was no suspicion of foul play, but now it's being sort of, as they investigate further, that is suspicious circumstances. We don't know why. We don't know how. All we know is that we've sort of lost a Hollywood legend. Fucking Young Frankenstein. He's in it for 4 minutes, and Slaves. But yeah.
I talk about a guy who looked like an everyman.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't have like the Robert Redford fucking stunning good looks or the Paul Newman fucking blue eyes and shit like that. But this was a guy who, like, his secret weapon is he looked like your neighbor, he looked like your dad, he looked like your friend, looked like a guy you worked with and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So stealth in that way. And then went on to give like very specific performances. When we talk about, I talk about, like, I love actors, because it's those that can tell the lie that tells the truth, man. It captures my imagination. I have acted, but I'm not an actor. So I appreciate those that could do it and do it well. That's why I do what I do for a living. I like being around that. So some actors, you know, acting is a job of choices, right? It comes down to, like, you're making a choice and you're given a line, how you choose to say it kind of makes what that performance is, can make the performance memorable. So we love actors who make big choices. I do. I can't speak for everybody. And actors who make very distinctive choices that can only be theirs. And you can only hear specific lines in their voice. People like Alan Rickman, people like Gary Oldman, people like Nick Cage. Gene Hackman was definitely one of those actors, man. Gene Hackman had such a fucking distinctive voice and distinctive delivery, and always chose a way to always made a choice with a line that would make it memorable. Like, there's a reason that dude worked a lot. It's not just because, like, well, only 12 people worked back then. Gave unforgettable fucking performances, like Mark pointed out, even in something like Young Frankenstein, which he's in and out of the movie so fucking quick. But, you know, Hoosiers, there's that amazing, the entire performance is amazing. But, you know, the big speech where he, hey man, give me the measuring tape. Measure from here to there. Measure from here. It's the exact same measurements as the comb court and stuff like that. I'm not a sports guy, but I'm a sucker for a well-done sports movie, and he made Hoosiers so fucking beautiful with his performance. Heist, a David Mamet movie that I absolutely fucking love. He was firing. You know, look, there ain't a bad Gene Hackman performance. The Firm, one of my favorite Gene Hackman performances. But my all-time favorite Gene Hackman, Bonnie and Clyde, one of my all-time favorite Gene Hackman performance, which of course is appropriate for this show. He defined Lex Luthor, but not the Lex Luthor we knew from the comics. He gave us a Lex Luthor that was, you know, honestly better than the comics, man. Like, in the comics, prior to that, Lex Luthor was always kind of, you know, just an evil scientist genius and shit like that. His Lex Luthor, you liked him. in spite of him being a villain. Like Lex Luthor on the comics page, like if you liked him, you might want to see a therapist and shit. He's a bad guy. He's never, and there's no delivery. You're reading words on a page. So it's not like some voice that makes it softer or something. But Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor was appealing, like seductive, not quite as much as Jack Nicholson's Joker, but whereas Jack Nicholson got top billing as the villain in Batman, Gene Hackman, he didn't. Maybe he got top billing over Chris Reeve.
I think Marlon Brando might have gotten top billing over all of them.
Over all of them and stuff. But that, when you think of Superman, of course you think of the Chris Reeve performance and just the majesty of the movie. But you can't not think about Gene Hackman playing that version of Lex Luthor that nobody has played since, before or since. Like, just nailed it, man. But not nailed it like, oh, that's just like in the comics. Wasn't like it was in the comics at all. No. Once again, acting is a job of choices, and the choices that he made, and of course the writers, make all the difference with that movie. The Superman, the movie, is very nearly a perfect film, as good as the first Iron Man, if not better. And he's got so much to do with that.
And he's only in half of it. And he's having a good time. His Lex Luthor is enjoying being a villain more than any other Luthor I've seen. And it's not because he's crazy. It's because, like, I'm having a blast. I'm getting what I want.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I have a good time?
He likes being a bad guy.
Yeah.
Oh God, what a career. I mean, of course, all death is a loss, but 95 is a long life. And over that long life, before he retired, he gave us a wealth of just amazing, memorable performances. He owed us nothing, but boy, he gave us everything. Sad to see him go, but happy that he lived it all. And fuck that Lex Luthor performance.
Yeah.
Magic. And that made for a happy childhood and a happy adulthood. Years later, it's not like, oh, I liked him as a kid. Fucking love that guy.
Yeah.
Never went after him for anything because I didn't have anything Gene Hackman worthy. What am I gonna do? But like, hey man, you want to play Silent Bob's grandpa? Like, yes, Gene Hackman, true American icon of performance. And glad he got a life, right, before he went. Because when you do, I'm not saying like pity this man, but like when you're in show business, like particularly when you're an actor, you're something of a vagabond. You're going places for 2, sometimes 6 months at a time, depending on how big the movie is, living out of a suitcase and whatnot, living at a hotel or something like that. And then when it's all over, you go on to another one. So it's, you do that and you keep doing it because like you worked so hard for this and you got your foot in the door and shit. Once you get a little of attention, bang, 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 you got to keep working consistently. So it's nice that at a certain point he got off the treadmill and said, you know what? I'm good. I've had my fill. I'm done. And went and had himself a real ass life. I remember like nobody had heard from him for a few years. And then there was a picture of him, looking older, but riding a bike in, what was it, New Mexico or something he lived?
Yeah. There was an episode of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives where like Guy Fieri walks into some fucking middle of nowhere restaurant in like New Mexico, and Gene Hackman is just sitting at the counter having lunch. And he's like, holy shit, it's Gene Hackman, who like, gives a little bit of a, yeah, this is my favorite place. I come here with my wife all the time. And then they just go about their episode, just telling you about, whatever dive that was. But yeah, just a guy like riding his bike into a restaurant that he likes, having a fucking whatever's great on the menu, and then riding back to write novels and be with his wife and play with his dogs. Like, that does sound like exactly what you want to have in retirement.
In honor of the late, great Gene Hackman, lower your volume, kids. Here we go. I'll do it. Mark will do it. Will do it. And then you all do it, no matter where you are. Some people are watching us at work. Some people are at home. We owe Gene Hackman this much. He gave us so much joy. Let's send him off with this. Greatest salute you could give Gene Hackman. Mr. Smucker!
I knew it.
Otisburg.
Otisburg.
Let's do it. Let's give him a Miss Tessmacher all at once in the count of 3.
All right. Ready?
Oh, yeah, we got, let's see, how many people are watching live? 1,200 people, 1,300 people watching live.
I can't even imagine what my wife is thinking is happening in here.
I know it's late in some places, like it's 9:50 here, so that means it's like 10 to 1, on the East Coast, and in England, it's probably like 6 in the morning or some such shit, but this man was a legend. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Mr. Smucker!
Do we get to go to Addis Ababa, Mr. Luthor?
Oh boy! You hate to see the legends go. You hate to see your childhood disappear like that. He was a big part of my childhood. That dude was practicing his art while I was just a person looking at TV and movies, going, "Boy, I wonder how they do that." Long before I ever dreamed about doing it myself. Thank you, Mr. Hackman, for always keeping me entertained.
Indeed.
Now, one last one for the week. And this one I actually knew. I worked with Michelle.
Yeah.
Michelle Trachtenberg, kids. This was shocking. I had no idea, and she was so young. You want to talk about young? I know we talked about Robert was 51 or something like that.
Yeah.
Gene Hackman was 95, but Michelle was 39. Is that what I read?
Mm-hmm.
Michelle Trachtenberg, who a lot of kids remember, as part of their childhood is Harriet the Spy. A lot of people remember her as Dawn, Buffy's sister.
Yeah, that's what I remember her.
A lot of people remember her from Gossip Girl. She made her mark, man. I got to work with her in a movie nobody remembers her from, Cop Out. She played Bruce Willis's daughter in Cop Out. And ironically, on Sunday, as previously mentioned, we were at the Smodcastle Cinemas in Atlantic Highlands having the 15th anniversary screening of Cop Out. And so every time a new character came on screen, everybody was like, wow. So I just saw Michelle on screen in front of a packed house, that we shot the movie 15 years ago. So if Michelle was 39 when she passed, 24, 23, 24, there she is up on the screen. And when she popped up, everybody was like applauding and welcoming her and stuff like that. And she was so vibrant. I didn't know she was going through a thing, and I was shocked as fuck when I saw the news. She was lovely. Just, she only worked with us for about 5 days, but fun and lovely. And I'd called her Harriet the Spy all the time. She called me Silent Bob, and I was like, all right, Harriet. And she was like, well, Silent Bob, what am I supposed to do? Yeah, really cool person, man. And you're talking about somebody who grew up in the business and stuff. So she had a very spicy sense of humor, probably wise beyond her years. It would be a way to describe her. She's been around this business of show for a red hot minute since she was a kid. So,
I mean, it said, according to one of many obits I read, that she booked her first commercials at 3.
Yeah, she would talk about being an old hand at this. Like, Kevin, I've been doing this longer than you. Yeah, man. Good kid. Really good kid. And I saw her years after we did Cop Out someplace. Maybe at San Diego or something. Maybe at IMDb, like up at Sundance. But I saw her and I remember she gave me a big hug. She was really sweet. It's crazy, man. People, some people you work with, and like I work with again and again and again, so they're kind of always in my life in one way or another. But Cop Out, like being what it was, what did I do after Cop Out? Red State. Then after Red State, I stopped making stuff for 3 years. So, I kind of ran from that movie and that experience after it was all done, once the movie came out, because that was after Too Fat to Fly and all that shit. So, it's just weird and ironic that like on Sunday, I'm like, oh shit. And as I'm sitting there watching the movie going like, oh shit, I should reach out to this one. Here's Tracy. And Tracy was like, yo, put me in the next flick. I was like, I will. And as I watched, the movie and it was like, oh, you know what? I fucking love Cop Out. Like, fucking, why haven't I watched this movie in years? Seeing Michelle up there, I was like, oh shit, fucking Mish. I should see if she wants to do a thing. And like, crazy timing when all of a sudden somebody had texted to me like, did you see this? Moments after the news broke. I'm happy I got to work with her, man. It was a fun experience. We had fun on the set. She was cool. And she like, I've been around for a red hot minute, and even back then I was 16 years into a career. And, I know a lot of people are like, you suck, fuck you and shit. But there are a lot of people that like what I do. And so because of Clerks and stuff, there are some people that tend to treat you, with more reverence than you're fucking due, which is very nice. Don't get me wrong and stuff. She was not one of those people. She was just like, I've been working since I was a kid. Like, you made Clerks? Great. What else? It just, she wasn't like, oh my God, fucking you. Like, she'd worked with fucking legends. She'd been on shows that more people had ever seen her on things than ever seen all my shit together and whatnot. So she knew exactly who she was in the world. And that it made it very comfortable to be around her, because she was, for lack of a better description, she was for real. Nice kid, man. Fuck.
Yeah, too damn young.
You were a Buffy guy.
I was a huge Buffy guy.
When did she come into the show?
She came into the show, I want to say it was like the fifth season. Yeah, the fifth season. And then was in pretty much every episode for the remaining 3 seasons on the show. And the character irked some fans because of the manner in which she was introduced. Spoiler, she just appears as if it had always been Buffy's sister, even though
I have vague memories of that as a storyline.
Yeah, and so which became a pretty decent thread throughout. Like, what's the story with Dawn? Where did she come from? Was this magic, demonic placement? What? But as she settled into the role and as the fandom sort of welcomed her in, she always remained a very interesting foil for Buffy and a very interesting character to add to that show. And and what I didn't know, because why would I know? She knew Sarah Michelle Gellar. Like, they worked on a soap opera together. I think it was
long before Buffy.
Long before Buffy. I think it was Days of Our Lives. No, All My Children. They were on the show together for a couple of years. And when the opportunity for a sister came along, I think Sarah might have put in a good word and enter Michelle Trachtenberg. And yeah, I mean, I love that show. I love that character. That is really, I mean, I remember seeing like Euro Trip later on. It's like, oh, it's fucking, there's Dawn. She'd pop up every now and again. But yeah, Buffy was my jam, and that was my way in.
Pete and Pete.
Mm-hmm.
Called it that a few times in the show. On our Cop Out. Hey, Pete and Pete, let's go.
Yeah. I mean, she apparently she grew up and was very close with Scarlett Johansson, Thora Birch, and Tara Manning, because they were all New York kids, New York young actresses
who would see each other at all the
auditions and all of that stuff. And like, it's so, I don't know that life. I don't know that world. I suppose it's a bit like, writers who are all meeting on the same TV show. We all kind of know each other. But to be both in competition and to find a sort of collegial relationship with her. It's like, yeah, these are my girls. That's kind of cool.
My heart goes out to Misha's family and anybody who was a big fan.
Yeah.
She leaves behind a very large body of work because she was acting since she was a kid.
Mm.
And boy, she was a natural. She was a pro. She's a good kid. She's fun. That's what I remember about her. Just sassy and like fucking, you know, just knew exactly who she was in the world.
Mm.
That's rare. Very, you know, I'm 54. Gonna be double nickels in August. Is that right? Yes. Some days I don't even know who I am, you know. Not like imposter syndrome, but some days I'm like, not like, you know, fucking Charlie Sheen in that moment in Wall Street where he's got it all and he's standing on the fucking balcony and he literally says out loud, "Who am I?" Dude, I fucking love Wall Street, but that is a ham-fisted moment.
A little bit.
And it's nothing against Chuck Sheen's performance, man. It's just like, and I love me some JFK, so I got nothing but respect for Oliver Stone, but you know, and I'm sure Oliver Stone will be like, okay, you could point to one moment in my entire career. How about I just point to all your fucking movies? He can do it. But she knew exactly who she was. It's a high compliment you could, not the highest compliment you give a person, but pretty damn high compliment you give somebody. A lot of people spend their whole lives trying to figure out who they are. She knew who the fuck she was. She was Michelle Trachtenberg.
Yeah. If authenticity is the coin of the realm, then that's a rich person.
Well done. Well said. I said all that bullshit. You said it perfectly. There's a writer, kids. This guy, I was just stumbling in. Big bucket of win. Night, Mish. Thank you for your time. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for making pretend with me. God, that was fucking depressing.
Yeah.
When I mean, not, of course, it was sad to talk about, but like when that news hit, I was like, is that everything?
That's everything.
All right, kids. That means we're on questions.
Do we have any?
Yes, there are questions.
Kabuki Kid said, "Safe trip, Michelle." Truth. Safe trip.
So questions.
Yeah.
He said with a ham-fisted attack. I'm a little partial to this one. That's why I picked it. Tom Wood asks, if you had to cast the Justice League of entirely bald actors, who would it be?
Bruce Willis's Batman. Dark Knight Batman.
I'm suddenly realizing that I cannot bring to mind a ton of bald actors.
Telly Savalas is the Martian Manhunter. Who loves you, baby? Patrick Stewart would be playing. He should play the Martian Manhunter. What am I kidding? Patrick Stewart is the Martian Manhunter. Telly Savalas, Lex Luthor.
Sitting right there.
We need a Superman.
The Rock.
Is just somebody said Jason Statham. Is he bald?
He is bald. He's also small.
Bald and small. He'll never work. He has a massive career. Somebody said Bobby Duvall. Bill Burr.
Could you do Yul Brynner as Superman?
Let's do Bill Burr as Superman. Number one, more hip. Number two, we'll sell more tickets. People are like, They think Bill Burr is. I got to see this. Bill Burr about to be on Broadway, man, and fucking Glengarry Glen Ross. He could play our Superman.
I mean, I'm somewhat temporally shifting, given that Telly Savalas is also dead. So I'm imagining that we get throughout time and space in their prime.
This is delightful. Justin Castaneda says Cynthia Erivo is Wonder Woman.
Sold.
I mean, just that's crazy. I was like, oh shit. Electric Eliminator 5 says Vin Diesel.
Sure.
Yeah, who? I guess he'd be your Superman, though. I mean, he's a big box office draw.
He's a big box office draw.
And also, he pushes for the idea of family at all times. And what is the Justice League if not a family of superheroes?
Very true.
And to be fair, he has practiced saying Superman. Boy, that was a fun one.
Yeah, take it.
Anybody we forget?
The Flash.
Electric Eliminator 5 says Paul Schaefer is Shazam. George Columbus says Avery Brooks. Ooh.
Oh, yes. Spencer.
Ooh, Doubt Barisha says no Dwayne Johnson. That's true, man. The Rock.
Right. He's sitting there waiting to be Superman.
No, we know who The Rock's going to play.
Black Adam.
He's going to make it work.
He's coming back. Sequel.
Seattle KO pointed out Stanley Tucci. Yeah, do we have anything for the Tooch?
Oh, could he be the Flash? Young Tooch is the Flash?
Yeah, since we're playing in the timeline. Jab Cups in chat says he wasn't fully bald, but George Carlin as the question. Whoa.
There
Never seen that coming. Nerd Large says Samuel Jackson too. Sam Jackson bald?
Yes. Has been for a very long time.
Oh, I guess you're right. Yeah, even as Nick Fury's.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like of all if somebody was like describe Sam Jackson 5 words, like bald wouldn't be in my top 5.
Yeah, Mace Windu is bald too. The last time he had hair, I think, was
Pulp Fiction is Jules? No.
No, it's Unbreakable.
Die Hard?
Unbreakable.
Unbreakable as Mr. Glass.
Mr. Glass. It was the last like real hair I remember him
having. Billy Zane, Mark Strong. Mark Strong could play Sinestro.
Oh, Billy Zane would be a good option for Superman. I was going to say, although
DeVito could play the Penguin, he's already done it.
Yeah, although not a hero as well, but could be a nemesis in the movie. You could have Jim Rash as Mr. Mxyzptlk. Dean from Community.
Billy Zane.
All right, give us another question. Feed me, Seymour.
Yes. Okay. So, what 70s era TV series would you make into a film? And that's from Rachel Nicole.
The $6 Million Man.
Well, that's a layup for you.
Steve Austin, like, this is a viable character. I mean, I guess you don't call him the $6 Million Man anymore, but the Bionic Man. Like, come on. It's right there. Like Marky Mark was supposed to do it years ago, and then nothing ever happened to it. Based on an old sci-fi, page turner called Cyborg.
Mm-hmm.
Tells a story of Steve Austin, astronaut, a man barely alive. Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology. We can create the world's first fully functional bionic man.
There's a writer that I'm working with now. I won't give her full name so as to not embarrass her in front of the world, but I'll give her first name. Named Stephanie. She's younger than we are by about 15 years. She thought the $6 Million Man was about a guy who just had $6 million and just like went from town to town solving problems with his briefcase full of $6 million. I'm like, that's also not bad.
Bob Perlitz in chat says this one was asked and answered a few times over now. Always the $6 Million Man. I'm telling you, man, it could work.
It could work.
Brett Deacon, our good friend Brett Deacon, texted in to say, thanks for the shout out, guys. Thanks for highlighting Mark. catalog 40X releases have been a pet project of Brett Deakins for a while. So they're doing Harry Potter 1 through 4 this weekend.
Oh, shit.
And he's got at least 2 more coming the end of the summer and October that are going to be awesome. So he's working on catalog versions. Like most 40X titles are brand new movies that are opening up, but they're starting to go into the studios are starting to go into their catalog titles. So the Harry Potter movies in 40X, man, you ain't never had magic in your face, all over your face, neck, and chest and shit. Now's the time. Go check out the Harry Potter movies on 40X screen near you. They got them everywhere now.
They do. I mean, I would 100% go see Harry Potter 3, The Prisoner of Azkaban. That is my Johnny Williams killing it.
Johnny Williams fucking gave us bum 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 bum.
I have that on my my iPhone.
Ready for this? Lex Luthor, greatest criminal mind. He whips off that fucking wig so fast. So dramatic.
The Otis's theme on my phone, just so that when I'm in Manhattan and I'm walking down the street, I could completely get into the mood.
And then you go into a subway and fucking.
I got your paper, Mr. Luthor.
All right, where are we going next?
Well, does Mark have a 70s show, or is just the whole consensus?
Mark,
I will give you Sanford and Son.
Easy to do show. Right now, they could redo it or fucking make it as a feature.
Yep, 100%. About the succession between a father and a son, passing on the lineage. The son doesn't want it, but the father needs him to have it, and reconnecting with the old man. Like,
I love this idea. Let's go pitch that. Shut the fuck up. Stop giving away good ideas. Let's go in and pitch a Sanford and Son movie and shit.
Let's just go.
Like, you know how cheap that would be?
Thin.
Cheap and funny. Like, it could be a brand new fucking series. Like, you know, you get 3 out of that. Spoilers, he dies in the 3rd one.
If they could make like 7 barbershops, then yes, we could make 3 Sanford and Sons.
If I can get to 3 Clerks, you can definitely get to 3 Sanford and Sons, man.
I mean,
DILF.
Who is your? You want mine?
Yeah. Who's your Sanford?
Spent the weekend with him, man. Tracy. Tracy would be able to sell. Elizabeth, I'm gonna get you pregnant. Who would you?
Kevin Hart.
As Sanford?
I mean, Kevin Hart is also in his mid-50s. Kevin Hart is probably the age that Red Fox was.
When they didn't know. Oh, we must look. Hey, DILF Man.
What's that?
Get your ass out there. Do that research shit they do on the Joe Rogan show, like the guy who always looks shit up and whatnot.
All right.
How old was Red Fox when Sanford and Son debuted? Because I'll tell you right now, if Mark's right, that's going to blow my fucking mind. I mean,
49 years old.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? No. I'm older than Fred Sanford right now?
Yes. You're like 1.00825.
Yeah.
Listen here, dummy. Wow, that's fucking crazy. You could totally cast Kevin Hart as Sanford, Fred Sanford.
It's the Wilford Brimley paradox, right? Like, he was, when they made Cocoon, the same age Tom Cruise was when they made whatever.
You know what, man? I love Tracy, but somebody in chat, they're all calling for the right call. Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy. That's a win.
Did you saw the Saturday Night Live?
Yeah.
him in the Scared Straight sketch. Comes out with the hair, and he's just like, they call me this because I don't do nothing half-assed. And he just held it for the entire audience to fucking look at the hair and piece it together. Oh, that would be amazing. Yes. Come on, Mark.
Eddie Murphy and Lakeith, maybe Lakeith Stansfield.
Ooh, that's a strong choice. Strong choice.
As Lamont. You big dummy.
Yes, and Tracy could be Grady.
Yes.
Wait, who's Aunt Esther?
Beyonce.
All
the money.
Everyone would fall in love with her.
Tiffany Haddish.
I was gonna say you go Tiffany, but she's so young.
Michelle Buteau.
Oh yeah, but she's young too.
She's young too, but then again, fucking.
She's in the world, but she can't be Aunt Esther, man. You got to get like, who is it? Oh, Alfre Woodard.
Ooh.
See, I was gonna say Leslie Jones.
Yeah, somebody in chat just put Leslie Jones in.
You know what? Leslie Jones is a pretty fucking fire choice. Oh my God. I like that tickles me, and now I really, Mark, this is legit. Like, can't hurt to
meet Jack Warner on the phone.
Somebody, DILF Man, do a look in, like, just Google Sanford and Son movie? Question mark.
Well, Roman Lear is still alive, right? Like, at least at the moment.
No, I think actually he just recently passed, didn't he?
Did he?
Yeah.
Robert in chat said Wanda Sykes as well. She could be a fantastic Aunt Esther. But a lot of people are saying Leslie Jones. Yeah, she would give it hard.
Yeah, he died.
Who has the rights?
Helen of 23.
What is?
Norman Lear passed away in 2023.
Did he developed it, but he didn't create Sanford and Son.
I think it's based on a British format.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, well, was it? Yes, I think you're right.
As was All in the Family, I think.
Yeah, that was well. Three's Company was Man About the House. I think All in the Family was the Royal Family.
Yeah,
sounds. Years later, Red Fox did a show called The Royal Family, and that's the one he passed away while working on, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's based on the British sitcom Steptoe and Son.
That's what Sanford and Son came from, Steptoe and Son.
Consulting.
Wait, Amazon already did it. They're calling it Clean Slate with George Wallace. Oh, so they're doing a version of it. I know, but like the brand name of fucking Sanford and Son, man.
Yeah, why you wouldn't do Sanford and Son? Like, if you're gonna do it, fucking do it.
But as a feature, Eddie Murphy in the Sanford and Son movie, you got my money. McFly, the Jedi guy, pointed out with Della Reese. Remember when Della Reese was in Harlem Nights?
You gonna shoot my pinky toe? Oh, somebody wants to tussle.
I like your answer so much better than mine. You've really got me fired up for a Sanford and Son movie starring Eddie Murphy.
Oh, that'd be great.
So glad you run the studio now. We're going to see all the good movies.
That studio's mine. Let's go.
He's going to James Gunn this bitch.
Yeah, I'm going to be the James Gunn of black sitcoms from the 1970s.
Good. Fuck.
We got Good Times. We got a fucking what's happening?
My God, dude. I know like it's probably the optics are terrible, but since you run the studio, can I do Good Times?
I mean, Norman Lear did Good Times. Like there's precedent.
That's why you'd have to change it up today.
I'm just saying there's precedent for white guy doing black show.
I mean, the only way, look, I should never be allowed to do it, but the only way I should be allowed to do it is if we did it, period. Because I was alive in the 70s and shit.
I think you got to keep it all, period. Because like the last thing I think you want really is like cell phones and the internet, and like there's something just kind of cool about this.
So we're at Cabrini Green.
We might shift it to like LA or no, for Good Times. Yeah, I think you want to stay in Chicago. That feels like a Chicago show. But Sanford and Son feels like that could be a little anywhere. But LA
Where was Sanford and Son?
I think it was LA.
I want to say you're right. If only DILF Man would be on fucking hand.
What am I catching flack for?
Where are you?
I'm right here.
What is the what were we just talking about?
Good Times, LA.
Was Sanford and Son set in LA?
Oh, originally, yeah.
What did you look it up, or are you just telling me off the top of your head?
I just know, man. Do you know how many afternoons on
shit it was in Watts.
You better look. Serious? Did they ever show Watts Towers? Did the Watts Towers exist at that point?
I don't know. My guess, if they did,
only we had somebody there with the internet open who could tell us if Watts Tower existed. You gotta go faster in this, Will. Gotta be like.
I mean, it's a stage-bound sitcom. I don't imagine they were doing lots of location shooting.
No, but like fucking usually in the opening credits or at the tail credits, they'll show pictures of the location, like in All in the Family. On the credits, you driving through Queens and stuff like that.
Technically speaking, the location of the store, which I understand the house was on the back of, was actually shot on Magnolia Boulevard in North Hollywood.
What? But that's where that was just the front. That's not where it was set.
No, yeah, it's set in South Central.
See, I told you. Tell me I got to get better at it, and I already gave you the damn answer.
You know what?
Sorry, I'm sorry. It's been a long day. I'm getting surly. I apologize.
Early as you want, man. I called you and you stepped, and you were absolutely right, and I was absolutely wrong.
Come at me.
Yeah, I did. I was like, come at me about fucking Sanford and Son. Now, if you were talking about Good Times, ooh, I'd have had you. I know my Good Times mythology.
I mean, Good Times, Sanford and Son, Jeffersons, What's Happening?
Synthetic Evil 13 says, does this have anything to do with anything?
This
is questions, man.
Yeah.
This is the last sketch of the night on SNL, which like is always the best sketch, but has nothing to do with anything.
Fair enough.
All right, last question.
Okay.
The last question. Okay.
Hold on. Ingrid St. John said, no, they did not feature Watts Tower on the show. No pickup shots or anything.
Thank you, Ingrid.
Thank you, Ingrid.
Appreciate that.
Although, geez, somebody did say in chat, I think it's Glenn Alexander, who was like, shouldn't it be like Damon Wayans Sr. and Damon Wayans Jr. as Sanford and Son?
Not ever since somebody said Eddie Murphy. Only Sanford and Son I need to see right now.
Okay, Kevin, singing, we're ready for the question.
Yes.
If you get to choose what heroes are in the Marvel DC crossover, who's showing up? That's from Bob Perlitz.
Bob, come on. All of them. Every one of them. Like, if you're going to do crossover the universes, better be something that's threatening both of our universes, and they better include every fucking character.
Yeah, but Kevin, the studio came back, okay, and they said, look, we're rolling the dice with this gun kid. We got the money tied up in places. You only get 4 characters. That's all we can license.
Nope. I would say I need everyone. They'd be like, everyone? I'd be like, everyone! I'd Oldman that shit. I love Bob very much, but I'm not going out on that question. I ain't going out like that. That's the obvious answer is every fucking character in the universe needs to be in that thing.
We're doing it. Well.
I'm picking and choosing. I waited years for them to do this shit again. They better put everybody in there. Everybody.
Slap it on the table. Here we go.
They better put Fool Killer in that shit.
Everybody.
They better put the Sonic Disruptors in that shit.
Everybody needs.
See how many people. Let me see how many of the 1,200 people watching. So what I'm talking about when I say Sonic Disruptors. They better put the new universe in that shit. Side by side with the new 52.
Damn.
I'm dropping references.
You really, really are. New universe.
This is going to be like 0 Hour meets what was a Marvel crossover that didn't really
Extinction Agenda.
There you go. Got it. All right, pick another question.
All right, fine. They got to have Black Racer, right?
Bob Perlich said, shit, look how long it took to get common characters into Deadpool. Yeah, but that's the movies, bro. In the comics, they ain't got no budget. They ain't got to clear Robert Downey Jr.'s schedule to draw a comic book and shit. So they better include everyone. Set me up, Mark. They better include everyone.
Everyone?
Everyone! Thank you for this.
You gotta take your pill and then
yes. He was Austrian, you know.
So late for this kind of work.
All right. Give us another one.
Jacob
Bob
Kim
Perlich says he was talking about the movies. Well, I ain't. I'm talking about the comic book because that's what we're doing is big crossover. But you're saying if they were doing the movie, still all of them, all of the ones that have been done in movies so far.
Yeah, give me
the Fool Killer is off the table, as is the new universe, as are the Sonic Disruptors.
But then you get Spider-Man over at Sony, and that's that whole negotiating thing.
Well, if we can't get Spidey because of Sony, then I have a substitution. I would like to put in the comic book men.
Aha!
I see where you're going.
Basically, we create a mythology where all the comic book men went into the ice. And we find them years later. Bring them back. They join the team. We're like Wendy and Marvin and Wonder Dog. We're only gonna be there for one season before people like put in Zan and Jaina. Fuck these normies.
These guys. What?
Yeah, with the dog, and the dog has a personality. Like, look, I understand we're Hanna-Barbera. We're big on fucking dogs that have personality, but
all about dogs.
You know what we need? More monkeys. Space monkeys.
I mean, which makes more sense than a dog, though. You can do more with Space Monkey. Gleek?
Indeed.
Had that fucking tail. Gleek had a tail with which he could fuck himself if he wanted to. I mean, they pursued that story. They never did. But that's why you include a character like Gleek, because you're like, we run out of shit to do by season 8. Let's just pull a ripcord and have the monkey fuck himself with his own tail.
I want that like on the big whiteboard in that writer's room, always on the corner, just like the monkey fucks himself. Like, are we there yet?
Some guy always reaching for it, like, not yet. Not yet.
Is now the time? Now is the time.
Bill Hanna and Joe Barbera are like, not yet. Not yet.
Hold.
Season 8. Okay, go ahead. What's our last question?
I can't. I'm breaking hard right now. Okay. Oh, you guys got me. Jacob Kim says, now that Lithgow was announced as Dumbledore, who else are you guys casting? In like,
wait, what?
Yeah, John Lithgow has been announced in Dumbledore, and I'm guessing, is it Max's or is it?
Now it's HBO's Harry Potter show.
Is he the first person they've announced cast?
That I know of.
They haven't announced any of the kids yet. And they did announce somebody.
Look, I absolutely love John Lithgow, but how crazy that they'd cast an American.
A little bit.
A little bit of that payback for fucking Spider-Man and Batman and Superman being fucking not American. Now it's our time. It is our time now. To paraphrase.
We're making America something.
Wow. Wait. Seattle KO said Brett Goldstein is Hagrid. Is that true?
I mean, I won't watch the show, but I'd watch that.
What other news, kids, in the chat do you
Did
think?
I miss?
Yeah, it's not just you, all of us. Austin Zager is Harry Potter, says Bob Perlitz. Oh, from your lips to God's ears. Then never mind my kid. I would marry Austin.
I'm asking for money.
Oh, get some of that fucking David Zaslav fucking HBO Max fucking new Harry Potter money. I mean, the old Harry Potter money, of course, just generational wealth. But that new Harry Potter money, that spends.
It spends.
Okay. Any news that we maybe missed? Let me see. No.
I love the little quality check that Kevin does at the end of the show.
Yeah. Like, did we fuck this up?
Inyara Treva says that the Shrek teaser dropped.
For Shrek 5, starring Zendaya as Shrek's daughter.
Oh. Right on. I'll watch another Shrek. Is Eddie Murphy back as Donkey?
I mean, they don't make it without Eddie Murphy.
You have my money. Although, as much as I love Eddie Murphy as Donkey, Eddie Murphy as Mushu, which was the bridge to Eddie Murphy as Donkey, because he worked with Katzenberg at Disney, and then when Katzenberg started DreamWorks, he said, "Hey, come voice Donkey," but him as Mushu.
Strong.
The powerful, the pleasurable Mushu. God, I love that movie. So good. I never saw the live action one because they didn't have Mushu in it. And I understand they're like, that's not part of the legend, you fucking dumbass. But that Mushu performance was fire. See what I did there?
Take it.
When was the last time you saw Mulan? The Soldier.
7 years ago, I think. Before the live action movie came out, I watched it.
So fucking good.
Yeah.
What else we got, kids? Yeah, we talked about the Punisher. Dean Hawkins says, y'all watching Severance? Best show on TV right now. I'm not watching Severance, so I can't comment whether it is the best show on TV, but the best show I'm watching on TV right now, definitely Paradise. If you're not watching Paradise, you're missing out. Also, the food that built America. Oh my God. So fucking good.
Pretty soon they're going to send us some of that food.
I will say Severance is good.
Oh, you're going to speak up for Severance, are you?
Yeah. I thoroughly, I mean, the long wait between seasons was a bit much because it was like 2 or 3 years, but it's one of those shows that it plants a lot of seeds about where it's going. It gives you enough to speculate, but also there are just certain elements to it that kind of have that Lynchian vibe to them. You know what I mean? I'm not talking like full Twin Peaks, but there's like essence of that in there.
Anyone see the Osgood Perkins movie, The Monkey?
Have not.
Anybody hear anything?
No, oddly.
We talked about the Punisher. Oh my God, Big G in chat said, dishonor on you, dishonor on your family, dishonor on your cow. Remember Eddie Murphy? You are one lucky bug. You could sit right here next to me. God, I love Eddie Murphy. It looks like we did get to all the fucking news. Yes, we talked about Gene Hackman, sadly.
Mm-hmm.
Ocean Explorer Spirit said, watching White Lotus? No. Anybody? You?
I've seen the first episode. I haven't seen the second one yet.
And?
If you like White Lotus, it's White Lotus. Rich people behaving badly.
I want to see that shit. I'll look out my window. Thank you very much. Vince Jackman says Cobra Kai ending. That finished, I guess. This is the last season. I've seen the trailer for the new Karate Kid movie that Ralph Macchio
Legends.
Yeah, but it sounds like they don't reference the show or nobody from the show other than him is in it.
Yeah, but Jackie Chan is in it, so let's cross those streams.
Mean Dave says Shoresy new season is great. Papa John says expectations for Thunderbolts. I expect a good fucking time.
That's all I want.
Um, hmm, hmm. Kathleen Kennedy moving. We talked about that, although it seems like a non-story.
May I ask a question
Fuck
of
yeah.
people that are in the industry? I noticed that we are starting to hit a point of like lots of, for lack of a better term, content dropping, a lot more shows starting to hit. Are we starting to finally see the wave of the delay of the strike finally like hitting the beach?
Mm,
It's not so much the wave. It's just, I mean, that no, I think we're long since past like the catch-up point. I just think now we're back to work. But as much as it's like, wow, it seems like there's a lot of content, and there always is. It's not all made here, and I think that's why, it feels like there's so much content, but there's not a lot of stuff being made in this business. Am I wrong?
yeah, I mean, I still think production is down, um, especially on the TV front. I think the heady days of there being like 700 scripted TV shows in the air are over, and probably over for a while. And I don't think that's necessarily a strike related thing, and more a corrective. Once the streaming gold rush has kind of yielded, like, no, there was too much TV. Like, nobody could monetize as much TV as there was because nobody could watch as much TV as there was. So I think there was a natural leveling that was going to happen. I think movie wise, yeah, like um the Brave New World, Captain America 4 was a strike related sort of delay, but I think we're on the other side of that now. But yeah, there's just a lot.
Jim Tomlin says the floor. Brian is doing pretty good. Brian O'Halloran is fucking kicking ass on the floor, man.
That's
Like
awesome.
he's a contestant on the floor, and he just keeps fucking winning. I think he's up to 60 or 80,000 or something like that.
Ooh.
Very happy for him. If you're not watching the floor, kids, and you want to see Dante fucking win for a change, he is supposed to be there that day. Hopefully he goes all the way and takes all the fucking money home.
Oh, hell yeah.
When he does, I'm gonna be like, would you like to finance a movie?
Hey, that's a bitch.
Blaster Master points out Oscars are a few days away. Is that right?
Sunday, I believe.
Are you shitting? Oh, you know what? That tracks because I passed. I went down La Brea, and Hollywood is
It's already cordoned off.
Yeah, they got it cordoned off, and the stands are up. Oh, I hadn't even. That's right. It's this weekend. Shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's also late in the week for a premiere because premieres are usually like a Tuesday or a Wednesday. And so I don't even know what they would be premiering. They would take over Hollywood Boulevard. Marvel's had their moment in the sun until Thunderbolts.
People are asking predictions. I got none. I honestly don't even know who's up for what and shit like that. But I will say this. I loved The Substance.
That is really my only prediction, is that Demi Moore is going to win.
I hope so.
And I say that not having seen the movie at all.
Oh, just the fucking courage it took to, be her age and fucking share the screen with Margaret Qualley naked. Like, that's brave. Plus just the performance itself was really, really great. Like, I hope she wins. She deserves it, man. When she won, I think she won a Golden Globe, and she was up there going like, at one point in my career, some director said, like, I'm not an awards actress. And I just always figured he was right. And she's like, but today he's not, or whatever. Fuck. I like that moment. So I hope she got a better, or not a better, but another speech ready to go.
Yeah. That's why. I mean, I think it's the Oscars are rarely about quality as much as it's about the narrative of any given movie in any given year. And so that narrative is, here's an actress we have overlooked for a very long time, but who's been a fixture in Hollywood for like 30 years and who's never had a chance to do a role like this. And she did, and she killed it. it's a lifetime achievement award more than it's a reward for the specific movie, even though she might be very good in it. But it's a bit of the Jamie Lee Curtis effect of like we've been with this woman for a very long time, but never really given her that shine. Now's the time.
I liked for me it like I don't think The Substance is up for Best Picture, probably, is it?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
But Wicked is, isn't it?
Very much is.
I loved Wicked. Boy, oh boy. Not really a hot take or anything like that. It's like that feels like a movie. Like just a big ass, bombastic, wonderful. This would never happen in real life. Fucking movie.
Mm-hmm.
I would not bump into that winning.
The Substance is up for Best Picture.
Is it?
Yeah.
Good. That fucking movie was just, just when you were like, holy shit, I can't believe it. The director's like, hold my beer. Fucking.
See, I can JC.
Hold my champagne. Yeah, you sure can, JC.
Nice job. Pizza's out of the oven. Back to work.
You out, JC. Santiago in chat says, Kevin, have you heard of the Emmy Award-winning ABC show TV sitcom Lost? I have.
Oh, is that the new way we're getting bombed this week?
I guess.
Apparently, yes.
Kabuki Kid says horror never wins. That would be Substance.
Unless it's Silence of the Lambs, in which case it wins everything. But
Gene Hackman, of course, we did talk about. Looks like we had Team Drag says the Brutalist is going to win everything, is my guess. Didn't see it, but the actor's in it. And then his message is cut off. Trey Jones says, just saw Wicked this week. Really fun. And I'm not normally big into musicals. Well, kids, sorry. That's what happens. People bring up Oscars. Suddenly we're like, hey, kids, did you have a good time hanging out? Me, Mark, Will, Banff Man, and JC and Spirit. If you had a good time, how about you do us a fucking favor? Smash that like button and subscribe.
Hit that alarm bell so you get notified.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. We'll wait. I'm waiting right now. I ain't doing shit until I see a lot of fucking hitting that like button, smashing that like button and subscribe.
Do it.
Let's listen to YouTube. Hit that like, subscribe. We're on our way to 5 million. Got a long journey. Did you have a good time today, kids? If you did, in our special 1 hour edition, 2 hours still. Fuck. Can't do anything short.
We tried.
Except fuck. Then I'm fast and unsatisfying. If you had a good time, ladies and gentlemen, it's because of the other guy who's not in this box. He's in that box and stuff. Give it up for marvelous Marc Bernardin.
Thank you.
Many thanks to DILF Man, Will Wilkins,
for putting off the 400th episode of Netheads to come and hang out with us.
That's right. He did that, man. And if you want to thank old Will Wilkins, go check out Netheads. He's having his 500th episode.
400.
Doing
400. Yeah, 7 p.m. Pacific.
Overselling it. I'm overpromising.
Sorry.
The 1000th episode of Netheads starring Will Wilkins. 400th episode, man. Go celebrate.
Yeah, that's tomorrow at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time, over at youtube.com/netheads on air.
Nice.
And that's how I get paid, y'all.
There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it.
That's all we got.
There it is, kids. There's your Fat Man Beyond. I'm going to go back to writing. I was having a good ass time writing my thing, doing another job. Now that I've seen locations, I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna write very specifically. So I was like, you know how when you're like enjoying the fuck out of a thing, like I wrote a brand new scene that didn't exist before, and I'm like, how did I not write this? This is fucking fire. So I'm gonna go back to that shit, man. Don't cry for me, Argentina. Stand back, Buenos Aires.
Don't cry for me, motherfucker. There's a big moon over Parador. We're doing it.
You were supposed to have been immortal. That's all I wanted. Not much to ask for. All right, kids. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Fat Man Beyond.
Cheers, everybody.
Fat Man Beyond. Don't forget, coming soon.
Every
Mark
week.
Bernard, Kevin Smith present Eddie Murphy in Sanford and Son, the movie.
Yes. Tell your congressman. That's what we need to have happen.
This, and our tagline for the poster, this ain't garbage.
Oh,
Thank you.
nice. I was going to go, it's the big one.
Wow. Excellent. There it is, kids. You go have a good night. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. Go spread some fucking joy. There's enough misery out there. For Fat Man Beyond, I'm Kevin Smith.
I'm Marc Bernardin.
Tune in next time, kids. Same fat time, same fat channel. Smodcast.com or
YouTube.com/Kevin Smith.
Big Fat Jeff's kiss for y'all. This is from the cat. Greetings, everybody, and welcome to the AKA Ask Kev Anything.
Every saga has a 10-year anniversary, ladies and gentlemen, and this is what happens when Jay and Silent Bob get old. I'm Kevin Smith. Cheers, if you